Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we continue reading from the Bhagavatam, rather Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter 16, the divine and demoniac natures, text number 8. So yesterday, he just started about starting to describe about the demoniac nature. Right. Asatyam, apratiṣṭhaṁ, te jagat, āhuḥ, anīśvaram, aparaspara-sambhūtaṁ, anyat, kāma-haitukam, asatyam, unreal, apratiṣṭham, without foundation, day, jagat, the cosmic manifestation, āhuḥ, say, anīśvaram, with no controller, aparaspara, without cause, sambhūtam, arisen, anyat, there is no other cause, kāma-haitukam, it is due to lust only. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Purport. The demonic conclude that the world is phantasmagoria. There is no cause and effect, no controller, no purpose. Everything is unreal. So I just checked on what is the meaning of phantasmagoria. Srila Prabhupada used the word phantasmagoria. It says here, an exhibition of optical effects and illusions. Another meaning, a constantly shifting, complex succession of things seen or imagined. Another one, a scene that constantly changes. Another one, a bizarre or fantastic combination, collection or assemblage. That is the meaning of phantasmagoria according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Prabhupada used the right word, isn't it? Phantasmagoria. So yes, this is the philosophy of those who are demoniac in nature. In text 6 of this chapter, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demoniac. So previously, the last 5 verses, and previously also in different chapters, 3, 6, and 9 of this Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, explains about the nature of the divine. So ultimately, in real nature, everyone is divine. Because we all came from the Supreme Lord. Like even this material world is considered as divine. Daivi, he is guna mayi. This divine nature of mind, that means this material energy is also divine because it comes from the divinity, the most divine, Lord Krishna. It's like just a transformation of energy. Prabhupada gave an example like electricity is an energy, and it can be used either in cooler or air condition, or it can be used also in heater. It's the same energy coming from the powerhouse. So Sakti, this energy, this divine energy, material energy, similarly, the living entities also is divine in nature, full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Mamaivam so jiva loka. Jiva bhuta sanatana, we're fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So how is it that there are two kinds of living beings in this material world? Why not all just in the mode of goodness? Godly. The opposite of godly is demoniac. The demoniac in nature means they don't accept the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. Actually, they believe more of themselves as to be one day that they will be also the supreme controller, the supreme energy. So there is no cause and effect. This is what they say. No cause and effect without foundation, apratiṣṭhaṁ, aparaspara, without cause. Without cause. But everything has a cause. The demons, they said, especially those who believe that there is no source and the whole creation just happens by chance. Like the scientists. The scientists say, oh, everything happens by chance. Big Bang. Big Bang theory. So why don't we just give them a dynamite and let's see if they can create a building by exploding, having the dynamite, big dynamite, or even an atomic bomb to create another planet. But that they cannot do. The first verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam is Janmadi Ashayataha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadi Ashayataha. There is a cause. He is the one from whom everything emanates. The Supreme Lord. God. Krishna. The original name for God. Isvara. Param Isvara. He is the supreme proprietor or the supreme master. Isvara. Isvara means the supreme. Supreme Lord. Param Isvara. God is always God, and He does not have a creator. Everything comes from Him. So the demoniac in nature, because they use this as a license to do whatever they wish to do or they want to do for their own benefit. No controller. How can you say no controller? Everything is controlled here. And what is that nature of the Lord that controls everything in the material world? Time. Time and tide waits for no one. Right? We have 24 hours, but we are controlled by time. We're always running after time. And 24 hours is not enough for those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness. But for those who are in the demoniac in nature, time passes by and they just waste their time. But they're controlled by time because time, I am the destroyer of everything. Ultimately, we all have to give up this body. And that time is called death. So in this world, there are two things that are really for certain. Tax and death. You have to pay tax. If you don't pay tax, you get jailed. Yeah, you have to pay fine. And death also, is there anyone who lives forever in this material world? Of course, the Supreme Lord, He manifests His pastimes, and He wounds up the pastimes, unmanifest. Krishna is still here in Vrindavan for those whose heart are pure, free from envy, lust, anger, greed, madness, and illusion, and anger. Then they can see Krishna. But for those who says, oh yes, Krishna is just an ordinary man. Also, he left 5,000 years ago after 126 years. Prabhupada says, Krishna is present within your heart. But right now, he is invisible. You cannot see. Why? Because our heart is full of anarthas, unwanted desires. But for the demoniac in nature, they don't accept. They don't accept that there is a witness. They don't accept there is paramatma. That everything is happening by chance. For you to be here is also by chance, right? No, you wanted to be here. Especially you, like who comes every day for the Bhagavad-Gita class. No controller, they says. Of course, there is a controller. It's like this machine, it will not work by itself. The camera, Shikant Prabhu, the camera will work by itself. Even with remote control, somebody has to push the button, right? And to have that person to push the button, somebody from inside has to give an intelligence for him to push. So the scientist says, oh, there's no controller. Then why don't you just create something and let it just go by itself? It cannot be. Somebody has to push the button. And the person, the supreme person, the one who pushed the original button is Krishna. So there is a controller. It says there is no purpose. There is a purpose. For the demoniac in nature, they don't have purpose in life. They just live like on a day-to-day basis. He said, whatever comes, it comes. If it happens, it happens. But everything has a cause. Again, and there is a purpose. And especially this human form of life, there is a purpose. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Now is the time to inquire about the absolute truth. Otherwise, one has to take birth again, next life, and one has to suffer again repeated birth, death, old age, and disease, the fourfold miseries in life. So there is a purpose of this creation. The purpose of this creation, the material world, is for us to reform or to learn. Every species of life is like a classroom. And in human form of life is the best classroom where you will be able to learn what is the purpose of human form of life. Or what is the purpose of life? To get out of this material world, to learn that one cannot be happy, to learn that one cannot be satisfied, to learn that I cannot really exist here eternally. I have to change my body. And what is the result of changing the body? How do I get the body next life not to suffer anymore? Is by no less than engaging oneself in devotional service. If one engages himself besides in devotional service, then more likely one will attain again a form which is suitable for one's desire and the activities that one performed during his lifetime. Karma and Gyan, mental speculation and meant for fruitive gain. Everything is unreal. Prabhupada says this is not unreal. This is real. See, I can touch, there is a sound, there is a texture, but it is impermanent, non-permanent. It is real, it is not false. If this is false, then I cannot touch. If these objects are false or imaginary, then I cannot really feel and I cannot smell. It is real, but it is temporary. So the material world is real, but it is a reflection or perverted reflection of the original spiritual world. So everything here, as Prabhupada says, topsy-turvy. You know what is topsy-turvy? Is upside down, inside out. It's like if you wear your dhoti outside or inside out, then it's not proper. So yeah, in that one of the chapters here, that the material world is like a reflection. In the bank of a river, the tree is inverted, ashbata or a banyan tree. They say that this cosmic manifestation arises due to chance, material actions and reactions. No, nothing is by chance. Again, we desire, then there is a reaction. If we deserve, we will achieve. If we don't deserve, we may desire, but it will not happen. Do you have any experience that all the things that you desire happen? 100%? Not even 50-50. not even 50-50. Who knows? But it doesn't happen all the time. Very little chance, unless if your purpose is to please the Supreme Lord, then it will happen 100%. But for ourselves, it may not happen. We cannot control it. So, yes, there is material actions and reactions. That's why it's called karma. For everything that we do, for our own benefit, for our own interest, whether it is for wealth, or to enjoy the opposite sex, or to remain in one's position, it's up to karma. The karma is a law of nature that binds one, the conditioned souls, in the material world. It's like ropes. They do not think that the world was created by God for a certain purpose. Again, the purpose, Krishna did not create this material world for his own purpose. There is no need. He's already in the spiritual world. He's already enjoying. But he created this material world because there are living entities who wanted to enjoy separate from him. But we cannot do that. We cannot enjoy separate from Krishna in the spiritual world. Because Krishna is the only enjoyer, the supreme enjoyer. Now in the material world, you can enjoy, but that enjoyment is flickering. It's like a sparks. It doesn't last long. Only temporary. The sparks only have that same quality of the fire, heat and light, as long as the sparks are near the fire. As soon as the sparks goes a little bit further, then it loses the quality of heat and fire, heat and light. So similarly, the material world was created because we wanted to be happy, separate from him. Okay, so you be happy. Here is the material world. Are you happy? Well, you are, because you're devotees. You're trying to become devotees. Trying. Not yet devotee, because a devotee is a very, very rare to find a devotee who is 100% engaged in devotional service, only to please Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. Still, there is some demoniac mentality within us. That's why we're not able to fully be satisfied, fully be happy. We're still hankering for things that we don't have, and we lament for things that we lost. But even though the soul doesn't have anything to do with the matter, we identify with the matter. That's why we are unhappy. So when we realize this, that I cannot really be happy with material things, then only you can be happy. Because you will be engaged in loving service with the Supreme Lord. They have their own theory that the world has come about in its own way, and that there is no reason to believe that there is a God behind it. How can that be? You know what's a theory? Theory means maybe, perhaps, it could be. It's like, it's not certain. The tendency of theory means it could be true or it could be false. Unlike the Bhagavad-Gita, or the nature of the Supreme Absolute Truth, it is Supreme Absolute. Supreme Absolute. Absolute. Like the Supreme Absolute Truth means as soon as you take birth, you die. As soon as you die, you take birth. That is absolute truth. There's no speculation in that one. I cannot say, oh, I will never die, or when I die, I will never take birth again. One may take birth materially or spiritually, in the spiritual world or in the material world. So this is a theory. It's like theory of evolution, right? Do they still teach this in the school? Darwin's theory of evolution? I don't think so. Maybe in some places, but no. There is no reason to believe that there is God behind it. Because why? Because they want to take the position of God. They want to be God themselves. But how can you be God? As soon as you have a toothache, you'll go to the dentist. You cannot say, I'm God, I will not have a toothache, or my hairs will never fall, or I will not have wrinkles on my face. I will be eternally young. No. For them there is no difference between spirit and matter, and they do not accept the Supreme Spirit. Of course, there is a difference between spirit and matter. Spirit is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Matter is full of ignorance, full of miseries, and it is temporary. See, everything, all of these doctrines, or all of this philosophy of the demoniac in nature is, they just use this for their own benefit. It's like an excuse for them not to commit to follow any rules and regulations. Everybody has to follow rules and regulations. Even while you're driving, you have to stop on a red light. But of course, others, they don't stop in the red light. Then they'll get into accident. Everything is matter only, and the whole cosmos is supposed to be a mass of ignorance. Yes. They have concluded that the root cause of everything is tama, ignorance. Ignorance, they have a saying, ignorance is bliss. If you don't know, then you're happy. Better you don't know. It's like the stork. You've seen that picture of the stork? Like a big bird that has a long neck, and then the stork will bury his head to the ground, and then, oh, there is no problem. So this is their philosophy, huh? Everything is supposed to be a mass of ignorance. According to them, everything is void, and whatever manifestation exists is due to our ignorance in perception. Void. Void means zero. Sunya. This is what sunyavadi. Everything is. When you die, there is no soul. So when you die, it's like you just merge with the Supreme Brahman, the light, the effulgence. You become one with everything. Well, how can you become everything? You are a unique individual soul. Prabhupada gave an example, just like a drop of water in the ocean has the same composition as the whole ocean. But if you take away that drop of water and you put it back, you're still that drop of water. You didn't become the whole ocean. This is their philosophy, the demoniac in nature. The demoniac in nature means, I could be a drop of water, but then when I put back in the water, then I become the whole ocean. That's not true. It's not possible. You still have a drop. You still have your identity. So ignorance, it says, everything that exists materially is due to our ignorance in perception. They take it for granted that all manifestation of diversity is a display of ignorance. Again, everything is ignorance. Avidya. Avidya. But no, there is knowledge. This is like this Bhagavad-Gita is a book of knowledge. For the materialists, they have this world book of knowledge. Encyclopedia, Britannica. I remember when I was in my school days, my parents bought me this book, Britannica, Encyclopedia of book of knowledge, right? Do they still have this? And I will read it. Oh, I really like reading all of these things. But what is that now? Now it's different now. It's revised. And real knowledge doesn't change. There are two kinds of knowledge: relative knowledge and absolute knowledge. That relative knowledge actually is avidya, is ignorance. Because it doesn't really give you knowledge to end the cycle of repeated birth and death. It's just a matter of facts, which it changes also. It depends on the yearly. The books in schools, the academic books, they revise it every year. Next year they have a different edition. And whatever you used last year's books is not applicable this year's teachings. But Bhagavad-Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, absolute knowledge. According to them, everything is void, and whatever manifestation is due to ignorance. They take it for granted that all manifestation of diversity is a display of ignorance. Of course not. There's a lot of, it's like here, there's so many varieties. So similarly, in the spiritual world, it's full of variety. It's full of variegatedness. That's what Prabhupada says. In the spiritual world, everything is fresh, everything is new. As Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, we can have a newspaper every day from the spiritual world, and it will always fresh and new and always invigorating. Unlike the newspapers today, it's full of ignorance. The same news. Actually, it is not news. It is old. News means new, right? But actually, it is old. Somebody died. One country invaded another country. This is the result of the election. Somebody got elected. It just names are different. But it's the same news, unlike spiritual world. It's full of variegatedness, full of knowledge. Just as in a dream, we may create so many things which actually have no existence. So when we are awake, we shall see that everything is simply a dream. Speaking about dream, Prabhupada says, you receive part of your karma in your dream. So when you dream, like sometimes not always good, like bad dream, you'll be being chased by a tiger, or like they don't even wake up the next day because they died in dream. You've heard of them? Some of those personalities? They didn't wake up the next day. They sleep, but they had a bad dream. So they didn't get up. They died in their sleep. And sometimes you can have a nice dream, like dreaming of Prabhupada. Any one of you have dreamt of Prabhupada? Okay. Any one of you have dreamt of Radha Krishna? Yes. But it doesn't come all the time, isn't it? Because during the day we have to be always thinking of Krishna. Then we will dream of Krishna during night. It's like a continuation of your wakeful state, that when you sleep, in your dreaming state, the consciousness continues. So it's like people, they're always thinking of money, 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 money. Then even in dream, they're dealing in business of money. So actually, sometimes you see yourself also as a king, or when you dream, is it colored or black and white? Huh? There is also a book of dream that there are many meanings, significance. That's why it says also, when you dream, immediately when you wake up, you write it down. Because as soon as you wake up, after a few minutes, it's gone. It's erased. You cannot even remember one. But sometimes, you may dream also of your Guru Maharaj, right? And then you will be crying. Sometimes you had a dream when you were crying, and then when you wake up, actually there are tears in your eyes. It's like almost real, but spiritual dreams are special. Material dreams, forget that. You may be a king when you're dreaming, but then when you get up, you're still like a poor person. So it's not real. There is also some kind of substantiality in dreams, but especially spiritual dreams. But actually, the demons say that life is a dream. They are very expert in enjoying this dream. You must have heard of daydreaming. Daydream. Huh? It's like when you're in school, your teacher will write something on the board, but then your mind will just zoom, went somewhere else, and then when your teacher will call you, you cannot reply immediately because you were daydreaming. So, yes, just as in a dream, we may create so many things which have no actual existence. And the demons also, they say that life is a dream. No, life is not a dream. Life is part of our karma, and we should learn from what's going on. We should be a good observer. We should just not pass the time and says, oh, whatever happens, or I will get the mercy also. One will not become a devotee of the Lord just also by just sitting down, just by dreaming that, oh, I'll become a pure devotee someday, but then I will just wait for the mercy of the Lord. Now, that's not going to happen also. You have to work hard for that. You have to work, you have to perform tapasya. And so instead of acquiring knowledge, they become more and more implicated in their dreamland. Dreamland. What's that? There's a big music star. He named his place as Nowhere Land or something, or Dreamland. This is probably his imagination. They conclude that as a child is simply the result of sexual intercourse between man and woman, this world is born without any soul. For them, it is only a combination of matter that has produced the living entities, and there is no question of the existence of the soul. So this is demoniac in nature. They don't accept that I am the soul. That I am not this body, but I am the soul. They don't have that understanding that everything is happened because of the sexual intercourse between man and woman, and then the child appears. No, it is due to the karma of the child that he took birth in a certain family to receive, to enjoy or suffer the result of his past deeds. one will not take birth in any other family except that particular family, because only in that family that one will receive his due karma, what is due to him. So that's what he called collective karma. Okay? There is an individual karma, but then there is a collective karma. That means family. You will not take birth in a different family if your not karma has nothing to do with that family. Okay? Either you enjoy collectively with that family, or you suffer and share the sufferings that what they have or what you have from your previous activities. That they don't believe. They did, oh, again, it's by chance. There is no soul. You came here, no soul. You live this body, no soul. For them, it is only combination of matter that has produced the living entities, and there is no question of the existence of the soul. As many living creatures come out from perspiration and from a dead body without any cause, the whole living world has come out of the material combinations of the cosmic manifestations. Therefore, material nature is the cause of this manifestation, and there is no other cause. They do not believe in the words of Krishna in Bhagavad-Gita, Maya jakshena prakriti suyati sacharacharam. Under my direction, the whole material world is moving. Again, there is a direction. The material world has a direction. If things happen by chance, why is it that the planets doesn't collide with each other? They have their own orbit. The sun rises at a certain time in the morning, around 6 o'clock, 6:04 now. Previously, it was like 5:30. And then later on, winter comes, it'll be like past 6, right? The sun rises at a certain time, and the sun sets at a certain time. There's what you call the Farmer's Almanac. You've heard of that? Farmer's Almanac? The farmers use this as a guide. When when is the right time to plant the new seeds? When is the time to harvest them? When is the time to wake up? They use this almanac. When is the rainy season coming? So if you say there is no controller, how can they write all of this? Is that a prediction? No, it is exact. Weather Bureau, Weather Network. They can say that in the next few days it'll be raining. 10% precipitation, 20% precipitation. How come they can say exactly? If everything happens by chance and there is no one who directs. Indirectly, this is done by the material energy. Krishna is the ultimate director. Krishna is the ultimate controller. And indirectly, the material energy is a representative of Krishna that controls the material world. Therefore, material nature is the cause of this manifestation. In other words, among the demons, there is no perfect knowledge of the creation of the world. Every one of them has some particular theory of his own. That's why in the temple of Vedic planetarium, where the structure of the universe will be clearly depicted. The 14 planetary systems will be clearly described Where is Meru Mountain? Where is Tapaloka? Where is Swargaloka? I have a picture here. I use this as my background. Where is Maharloka? Where is Swargaloka? Where is the ocean of ghee butter? Where is the ocean of curd, yogurt? The ocean of liquor? The ocean of sugar cane? Where is Buloka? That means earthly realm, our. Where is the ocean of salt? Where is the ocean of milk? Where is Atalaloka, Vitalaloka, Sutalaloka, Patalaloka? Here, I'll show you a little bit. There you go. So just to remind me that, I better get out of this material world. This is described in the scriptures. So the demon says, no, there is no structure. There is no structure. They have their own theory. Theory, again, that means it's not real. According to them, one interpretation of the scripture is as good as another. No, there are different types. It's like there are 18 Puranas. Vyasadeva wrote this. 6 in the mode of passion, 6 in the mode of goodness, and 6 in the mode of ignorance. So not all of them are equal or as good as another. For they do not believe in a standard understanding of the scriptural injunctions. Again, they don't accept the scriptures. So this is their fault. They don't accept. Whether they accept it or not, it doesn't depend on their belief. Whether you accept that there is no God or there is a God, it's not based from your belief that there is no God. You may believe that there is no God, but it doesn't mean that there is no God. A belief means it changes. But Krishna is an absolute personality. He's an actual personality, just like here in Vrindavan. You don't have to ask whether Krishna is real or not. You can feel that Krishna is real. And we study Bhagavad-Gita every day, then it substantiates. That means the combination of both. We practice what we learned and what we heard and what we studied, and therefore it becomes into reality. So demoniac mentality is like this. They have their own nature. They want to forget God, and Krishna will provide all the facilities for them to forget God, to forget Krishna. That's what you want? Fine. That's why there is what you call minute independence. Without that minute independence, Krishna will not. Without Krishna giving us the minute independence, that means Krishna is not complete. It's like when Vamana took away everything from Bali Maharaj. Everything, all of his possessions, even his very self, he gave everything. It was taken away by Vamana. Only one thing that he left with Bali Maharaj, his independence, his, minute independence. So it's up to us. Don't use that minute independence. Otherwise, then one will be in that category of being a demoniac in nature. will be covered up. Okay, we stop here. Are there any points, any questions? Hare Krishna. Bolo, where is the microphone there? Is there a microphone? Huh? Haribol, can I see you? I cannot see you. You're hiding from me? Can you stand up, please? Stand up. I can see you. You've been sitting for 1 hour now, so stand up for 2 minutes. Yes, sir. There you go. You had the desire to be happy, separate from Krishna. Yes. Yes.
So how can we understand that we had that desire?
Again, that sweet will, that free will, is called free will. Is you're free to will what you want or what you wish to desire. That will not be taken away from you by Lord Krishna. But you are responsible for your action.
So whatever the karma is happening, so we have to satisfy ourselves that my previous karma like that, that's why there is something.
But that can be cut, that can be stopped when you perform bhakti. Karma is not eternal. Of the 5 main topics in Bhagavad-Gita, Isvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. 4 are eternal. Karma can be cut off once you start bhakti. Oh, Prabhupada says, in a moment. But you must be practicing from many, many, many lifetimes before you finally surrender. Because surrender, it doesn't happen in one day. Surrender your words, surrender your actions, surrender your mind, surrender your atma. It doesn't happen immediately. But it is possible. It is very difficult though. It is possible. In a moment means if you decide, oh Ram, from now on I am yours. But you have to act on that. Not just saying, oh Ram, from today I am yours, but then you do all your nonsense, then we have to, again, support what you say. You have to walk your talk. You understand? There is a saying, talk is cheap. Why? Because, one can just say many things, but he doesn't do. A devotee, a person who really wanted to be a devotee, Krishna will help him. And you can do it. It's possible. It depends again what is your priority? You have to prioritize. If you really want to go back home, back to Godhead, Krishna, Guru, Vaishnavas will give you all the facilities to attain that in one lifetime, this lifetime. But then again, you really have to work hard. You cannot just sit down and wait for the kripa. Oh, I'm just going to wait for the kripa to come. It's not going to happen. Whatever
we are seeing,
Yeah.
is real.
It is real, but it is temporary. It is not false. Yeah.
We are sleeping.
Yeah, but you're not start to wake up. This is for the conditioned souls. Because spiritually, they're actually lazy. Materially, they're very hard workers. They have 3 jobs. 1 part-time, 3 full-times, or 2 full-times. They only sleep for 4 hours. They only eat 2 chapatis. They don't have time to eat. By going to work, they will eating while driving, right? They work hard, but in a wrong way. So, Jeep Jago, wake up. Because you're sleeping spiritually. People are lazy. This is the symptoms of Kali Yuga. People are lazy. Lazy in spiritual aspects. Devotees are working hard, but they're awake. Why? Because they know what is real and what is not real. They act for what needs to be done. The demoniac, they don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done. For the devotees, they know what to do and they know what not to do. Because they are in knowledge. So they are awake. Jeep Jago for the conditioned souls. Now you are going into the liberated state. Now you're going to a wakefulness. Okay? You get up early in the morning, that means you are in the almost liberated state. If you don't drag yourself, if you say, oh no, why do I have to get up early in the morning? If you're so happy to get up in the morning, that means you're in the liberated state. That means you're already awake. You don't need to be woken up. A devotee is always awake. Okay? Anything else? Any other question? Huh?
I am
Commenting.
when Arjuna heard whole Gita, he said in the last, Nashto mohus smriti labha tavat prasad Chito asmi gat sande krishya vatanam. That I have known, I have come to know it. These are not mine, you are mine. Nashto moh.
Mm-hmm.
And I will krishya vatanam. I will.
I see. Yes. Be like Arjuna, Gudakesh. What's Gudakesh means? Huh? Conquer sleep. Because he's Krishna conscious actually. Great men, they don't sleep at all. Like maybe 2 hours. Prabhupada 4 hours, 3 hours. The Goswamis 1.5 hours. Sometimes they even forget to sleep and to eat. Always awake. And the devotee, within the heart of Krishna, the devotee resides. Within the heart of the devotee, Krishna resides. Therefore, Krishna is the property of the devotee. Okay? Thank you very much. Bhagavad-Gita as it is, ki jai.